Man, this episode was great. But these are my quick thoughts about the series finale, season 5, episode 8. But usually we start at the beginning to the end, but let's get into the highlight. We all saw at the very end where Jukebox off rock. Man, I did not see that coming. This Thomas family is out of control. Every single adult is gone, from the mom, all the uncles. Man, even Rock, this was an amazing show. Man, but every good thing must come to an end. Hey, I'm going to say it. This was better than the OG Power. Man, this was just, I can't even put it into words, man. This was just an amazing series. But let's get into this episode. This is our final review from top to end. But yeah, we all know that Juke, she had to erase Rock, all because of what Kanan did to Marvin. This family, I'm just telling you, it is something else what Kanan and Juke and all these people have actually been through. But let's start at the beginning of the episode. At first, we see Juke, she's reading the letter that Uncle Marvin wrote. And it's just sad because we see Juke, she's real emotional. If you watch from the episode 1 of season 1 to now, Juke has definitely changed. Actually, the entire family. If you watch episode 1, they were just a happy family. Famous comes in. From that to the end of season 5, man, it's a complete shift. And it just shows you that the way you treat people and the way you raise, your individuals, your kids, it can definitely affect your entire life. And this show was a great example. But then we see Jarita. We all know that's Sean's mom. She says that she is pregnant. We knew that was coming because we know that's Sean's mom. We didn't see much of her in this episode, but we know that she's pregnant. But then we see Breeze, crazy Breeze. What does he do? He retires the 2 white boys. But, they were snitching, so they deserved it. So that wasn't, anything surprising at all. But then we see Rock finds out that Kanan erased Marvin from Pino. She had no clue. It's hard to say if she really knew, but she didn't really seem, I guess surprised, because she knew that Kanan was becoming a monster at that point. And she's the one who raised him and turned him into this. So she didn't look too surprised when she found out from Pino that Kanan erased Marvin. But then, I'm trying to think, what do we see next? Oh, yeah. We see Juke and Flossie talking. And Flossie said, or actually Juke said to Flossie, Marvin wrote in the letter, Flossie was the only one that she could trust. And that's actually true. Marvin did not trust his sister Rock at the end. And I see why. Because she did not love anyone but Kanan. Kanan was the only person she ever loved. She didn't care about her brothers, her mom. Man, she was just heartless. But that's unconditional love for her kid. But she did not show that same love to her siblings. She acted like she did time to time. But I don't think she really did love anyone. She loved Kanan somewhat, but did she really? But then, trying to think, what else? What happens next? Oh, yeah. Rock is going to snitch. No, actually, before that happened, Juke learns that Kanan erased Marvin from Flossie. And she was heated. She could not believe it at first. But then she's like, oh, okay. I knew it was Kanan. I mean, man, Jukebox. Man, she's a great actress for real. But we know what happens to her in the OG Power. But I wish that would have changed because, man, Jukebox, she's been through a lot. But it's all because of Kanan and her family, because she could have turned out to be a singer. She had a great life ahead of her for sure. But then we see Rock. She's going to snitch. She's going to tell all the dirt that's going on with the Italians and the mob and everything. But she also wants Kanan to get, I guess, be part of witness protection as well. But it shows right there that she didn't just want to go out alone. She wanted to make sure Kanan got witness protection as well. But then we see the Snaps and Pop's funeral. Or actually, it was the memorial. Everyone's there from Stefano. But then we see the actor Isaiah Whitlock Jr. We all know him from The Wire. He actually passed away late last year, 2025. So this was definitely recorded before then. but it was great to see him because he did his thing in a wire. But, I guess his character won't really go into the Power origins at all because he passed away for sure. So shout out to the actor Isaiah Whitlock Jr. But then we see the cops pull up to Kanan talking about witness protection. But Kanan's like, that is not my life. I'm not going to snitch. But I don't even know why Rock was in there in the first place. She's not no snitch. No one's a snitch. This is Southside Jamaica, Queens. This is the life that they've lived. Rock, she ran the streets. Marvin, Uncle Lou. These people are not made to stitch or snitch. Jukebox, because this family is just hardcore for sure. But then we see Rock decides not to snitch. That wasn't surprising. Rock, she's built hardcore for sure. I mean, she barely cries, but this episode, we finally saw her shed a few tears. We've seen it a few times throughout the series, but I feel like I saw a little bit more this episode, Rock's emotional side. But then we see, I was surprised, a young Tommy and Ghost trying to get in the game and get some work. But they were super young. So I'm still trying to put the ages together to figure out how much younger are Ghost and Tommy compared to Kanan. Because these little kids in this episode, they look super young for sure. But then we see Marvin's funeral. Man, there is no one there. It's just Marvin and the funeral director. But we see Jukebox. That's his daughter. That was the love of his life, man. She rode with him to the end. They had a rocky relationship in season 1, season 2, but it became stronger over the years. But I love how Jukebox put that sucker in the casket because we all know Marvin, man, he's been eating and, eating candy, sucking, suckers' paws throughout the entire series. So that was great to see that. But yeah, man, that was an emotional part just seeing Marvin in that casket because that is not what I wanted to see. Because we all know, if you read the comments, everyone loved Uncle Marvin. But then we see Kanan. He talks to Stefano. He says, I do not want to see my mother pass away. He does not want to see his mother erased. So Stefano, he's feeling it. He's like, okay, maybe your mom does not have to be erased or retired, or, or knocked off from the game. But then we see Jukebox. She follows Kanan because she knows what Kanan did to her dad. Man, I'm still thinking about that. That's just sad what Kanan did to Uncle Marvin. I just cannot believe that. But when she follows Kanan, Rock and Kanan meet up. And Kanan actually says sorry about knocking off both of her uncles. That's just crazy to think about. He killed he erased both of his uncles, which is kind of crazy. But then Rock blames herself for just what he did and the way he was raised. I mean, it's really her fault. She's the reason that, what happened to the entire family. She was the ringleader of this entire situation. Man, that was just sad. She actually shed a tear. Kanan had a tear coming out. Definitely emotional part for sure. But then Rock goes to talk to Stefano like Kanan said. And Stefano says, if you do this one thing for me, I will let you live and you can go ahead and leave town. So she's going to go ahead and do it. But then we see Kanan. He's at Marvin's funeral. He's just looking in the casket like, what did I do? That's what he should have been saying the entire time. What did I do? But then we see Rock. She goes to, Pino's place. He thinks he's about to get him some, and she erases Pino. I didn't see that coming, but hey, it's part of the game. Stefano wanted to get rid of his enemy, and he did. But then we see the highlight of the episode. Juke pulls up to Rock's place, wherever she is. She's about to leave, and she offs Rock. I mean, man, it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, because Kanan did her dad. So, Juke just had to do Rock. I mean, that's just what it is. It's part of the Thomas family tree. That's what happens. But then Juke actually tells Kanan. Kanan can't even believe it. So he goes to the place and he sees his mom laying there. So everyone we love through this entire series, Uncle Lou, Marvin, and Rock, they are done. They're out of here. So all we have left is Juke and Kanan. But now we're going into Power Origins. We'll see how this actually happens or the new storylines. But hopefully we see part of Juke. But I'm not really sure. Juke might leave town. It's hard to really say. But this was a phenomenal show. I'm sad that it's ending. But let me know in the comments, how did you feel about this? And how did you feel about the entire family being erased except Kanan and Juke? But let us know in the comments.